work last week?
Yeah, we didn't go through that. We gave it out last week, but we didn't go through it. All right. Please take out your orders to the material, please. The boy needs an extra copy of the diabetes article. So how was the weekend? How was it? What you did? Where were you on Sunday? You sure?
I did.
Oh, so you're not, you didn't teach class here on Sunday morning?
No.
You sure? Tutor?
I was at home.
You didn't go to?
My car is, but I didn't travel for that reason.
Hmm?
I didn't travel.
Right. Right. No, okay. Now, the thing is, once you're in third year, you're supposed to be working with a congregation. So you have to decide which congregation you're going to work with. Second year, actually, which congregation you're going to work with. So one in the second and third must be working with a congregation. All right? Okay, you can start the class, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. All right, so today we're going to be looking at two topics. We're going to be looking at the how to study, and we're going to be looking at the matter of hypertension and diabetes. Now, as a student in whichever institution you are, you have to work out good study techniques. There's just two ways about it. And I've given you a handout on how to study. If you have that handout with you, you can take it out. All right, we looked at part of it 2 weeks ago. And this time we want to look at the other half. Now, the key thing in improving your study habits is organization. As a student, you must be organized. You cannot afford to not have a structured timetable. Because remember, at the Jamaica School of Preaching, how many subjects are you doing in year one? Richard?
Many subjects. 8.
Huh? What subject are you doing, Enrico, in year 2?
Is it?
8? Year 3? 3? How many subjects?
I'm not fast at that.
Huh?
I'm not fast at that, sir. I have to check.
You sure? How many subjects you're doing?
About 8.
Tutor?
What was it?
Right. So you're doing 8 subjects, fine, that's a lot. Both Bible and non-Bible, right? Right. Therefore, you have to get organized, or you're going to be left behind in 1 or 2 subjects, or maybe more, right? And it doesn't matter who your teacher is. You must take responsibility for your learning. I remember when I was in high school, I had a physics teacher in grade 11, Kingston College. And that teacher was not very good. You could see not very good. But I had to be determined that I am going to master the subject. It doesn't matter whether the teacher turned up or whether the teacher was good in teaching, presenting material. It didn't matter. I am going to master the subject. And that is the attitude you must have. Because you have good teachers and you have bad teachers. You have organized teachers and you have not so organized teachers. Right? So you must take responsibility. Because the first thing that's mentioned on the first page of this material. Look in notes. Right? Take responsibility for yourself and for learning. But remember, what is your goal? Your goal is to be a well-equipped preacher and you leave school. You want to have your stuff lined up. And therefore, when I was at the graduate school of preaching, they had some good teachers and they had some not so good teachers. But my job is to make sure I get this material because I don't have to turn around and teach this thing back in Jamaica. Right? So take responsibility for yourself. Your responsibility is recognition that in order to succeed, you have to make decisions about your priorities, your time, how you're going to spend your time, and your resources. So you have to organize yourself time-wise. So let us say I have a lot to do today. I teach until 11:30. Okay. I have here my schedule. In fact, no, I teach until 11:30. I teach until 10:30 tonight. Right. At 4:30, I teach Belize. At 5:30, I teach Florida. At 6:45, I teach Canada. Then at 8:45, I teach New Jersey. I have to get organized to do it. And at 7:30, I go to the gym. Right? So I have to organize myself. In order to go to the gym, I have to organize my classes so I say, okay, now it's 7:30, I go to the gym. So you have to stay organized in order to be able to have a balanced life. Furthermore, you must center yourself around your values, principles, and goals. Right? You must know what you want to achieve. So you don't let friends dictate your priorities. You must know what your priorities are.
Mm-hmm.
You must have your goals for being a student at Jamaica School of Preaching, or elsewhere for those who are listening. Otherwise, what are your goals? You know, there's a saying that goes, if you aim at nothing, you'll certainly hit it. If you aim at nothing, you will hit it. So prioritize. Put first things first. I've come to school to study. I've come to school to prepare myself for service in the vineyard. So I focus. That's my main mission. Your main mission at the Jamaica School of Preaching is to be a student. And therefore, every day you pursue that mission. Take notes, friends, as we go along. Even though I'm doing covering material from a handout. You follow your main mission. Don't be distracted. Now, we had some guys who were at school sometime in the past who their main mission was digital 11 to 5. In other words, somehow the digital had a thing where it was free to talk between 11 and 5.
Oh boy.
It was free. So their main mission was to maximize their use of the cell phone between 11 and 5.
And it wasn't
Well,
and it wasn't digital.
and so when they had the first class, they were sleeping. They couldn't keep up because they didn't get first things first. Right? Then also, work out when it is your most productive period of study. Am I a morning or night person, or am I a morning person? Am I a after 6 person p.m., or am I a 2, 3 o'clock in the morning person? Now, long ago, I realized that I am a morning person. I was up this morning from 3 o'clock. If I'm up from 3 o'clock, I went to bed from 9 o'clock. I've been up from 3 o'clock this morning doing my work. And I'm not a student, I'm a teacher. But I'm a morning person.
When you teach us, you still learning.
What's that?
When you're a teacher, you still learning. You still study.
Of course.
Yes.
When you're a teacher, you have to study, you have to organize. You have to make sure you know what you're going to do when you go to class. No, but I have to put in your work so you're organized. You have to give time to preparation. As a teacher, I have to prepare. But a student has even more preparation than a teacher to put in. Because after a while, a teacher teaches the same material over and over. Right? While the student is getting new material all the time. Right? So it is important that you work out when is your most productive. So when is your most productive? Share for us. When is best for you? Morning, afternoon, evening, or night? Eh?
Well, sometimes I was 7, 8, 5 in the morning.
5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a morning person. Okay. Good. You're a morning person. All right. Adjust the camera for me. All right. Now, the next thing we want to mention here is the question of having a timetable. Now, as I said, my partner scheduled for the day, but as a student, we have said it in the past, I know everybody has a study timetable. Anyone doesn't have a study timetable? You have one. Everybody must have a study timetable. And we're saying it because we know it's going to help you. Especially if you have the timetable and you follow it. You can have a timetable and you don't follow it. You have a timetable, you follow it. It's like you have a timetable for classes, Well, let's have a timetable for study, right? Have your own timetable. And that means that you're going to give adequate time to each subject. Now, here's a rule of thumb. A rule of thumb as a student is that you review classes, every class. Review and rewrite your notes within 24 hours. You take notes in class, you listen, you take notes in class, and then you go home and you review the class and rewrite your notes. What's the value of rewriting your notes?
So it might stick.
Speak up loud so everybody can hear you.
So it might stick by memory.
Right. Well, okay, and what else? What's the value of rewriting your notes?
Imprint it on your brain.
Imprint it on your brain. Okay. Yeah. What else? What else? When you rewrite your notes, you are taking material you have written down, and you're also recalling material that was said by the teacher, which you didn't write down. Because there are lots of things that you will not be able to write down, but it's stored in your brain because you heard it. So by rewriting your notes within 24 hours, in that window of opportunity of 24 hours, your memory will still be fresh. So if you rewrite your notes within 24 hours, you'll be able to remember 80% of what was being said, what had been said. It's estimated 80%. After that, your memory goes down like that.
That's not transfer.
Okay? What then?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? Yeah, take the notes in your brain. If you're taking notes, I need to see your writing. Now, number 3, develop effective study aids. A to-do list. This is what I did today. I wrote my to-do list. These are things I have to do today. You have your congratulations. I will call my wife this on. Is it not?
Something like that.
Oh, sorry. All right. I hope that call my wife is on too.
Yes, sir.
Every day. All right. So make a to-do list is an organization, the organization tool. One, you will not remember everything you have to do. No matter how great you are, you're just not going to remember. There's always something that you forget. And what the to-do list is to prevent you from forgetting. Is to make sure you don't forget certain key things for the day. And when you're writing that to-do list, on that sheet of paper, you're also writing it on your brain. So I have a to-do list, which is for the day. As I've mentioned here before, I have a to-do list for the day. and I have a to-do list generally, right? So here in this booklet, I write down things that I want to do long term. It's a booklet, like a notebook for to do things, long term projects. And as I do them, I cross them out. Right? So I want my list here. I need to wash my dog. Yeah? It's on my list. You know, I mean, it's been on the phone. But it helps you to organize because as a preacher, you've got to be organized. The demands of congregations demand to visit people and to call this person, to text this person. There are so many things. The work of the preacher, 90% of the work of the preacher is not in the pulpit. The organization is just absolutely essential. And you better get it from your school. Right? So you need a to-do list. And you have, from that to-do list, you can decide what you will do today from the list and what you need to do tomorrow from this. You will decide what is the top priority and what is not. Number two, you need to have a diary. A diary. You're on page 3. A diary. You can buy a small one or a larger one. Get a diary in which you're going to write down assignments and appointments. I didn't know it showed that if I read those eggs on here to do this, I'm going to problem. No, I'm going to put them right after chapter, right after 4th chapter, right? Okay, right. So you need a diary, write on your appointments, your classes, your assignments, your preaching opportunities or appointments, Bible class appointments. What's that?
Or ideas.
Or ideas. When you need a little booklet to write those things down, is get organized. Get organized. If you're not organized, people will not pay you attention in terms of professional work. You're going to pass your back. In the business of preaching and in all other endeavors, you let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. In other words, you're going to keep your word. And to keep your word, you have to remember the word that you promise you made.
Yeah, so you have to be reliable. Be reliable.
You have to be reliable.
Yeah, reliable.
Right. So I want to ask a question again. In what in year 2, 3, and 4, you must be, you have to work on which congregation are you working at. Where are you going to be working? Where are you working? Okay? So Tutor, you're at where? City. Enrico?
That's a teacher. I have to go down to the phone number, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, my phone never sees this. My phone never sees
You
this.
just go down there on Sunday morning.
Alright. I trust it.
Enrico, you have got to get this. He's expecting. All right?
Alright.
Marie?
Okay,
How often?
2 times each month, 2 Sundays each month.
Okay. Be sure.
You only have 1 year.
Why not?
Master.
Why not? But if somebody don't like, I need to.
So you went this side of pickleball?
No, he just said nothing.
Yeah, same thing to you.
No.
So you're going to be at Mona, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Also, I have to get reflection before.
Yeah, what?
I have to take time to get reflection before.
I didn't get you. have to do what?
I have to take time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, no, you're in the second year now. So this term, work it out. You're supposed to be preaching, doing a Bible track, and involved in the work of a local congregation. That's our rule. Okay, because school is not just about classwork. School is about learning how to get along with people, being involved in ministry, learning how to organize a congregation, how to lead, how to motivate, and all of that to get and people in local church. Okay, so put that on your to-do list for this term, everybody. This is second, third, or fourth year. Now, to be an effective student, you must develop good habits. Good habits, right? And good habits is that, okay, you wake at a certain time. When is your wake up time?
That gives you time to watch movie every day.
Hmm?
I say that you cannot use your time to watch movies.
I didn't get that.
I say as students, you cannot use your time to watch movies every day.
Oh, movies. Okay, fine. Movies.
Yes.
I didn't know that movies there too. Movies, that's interesting. I cannot tell you when that. Anyway, here's the point. You've got to use your time effectively. What time do you normally wake up? What time do you have your meals? You have to organize that too, you know. What time do you study every day? Richard, when is your study time?
During the day, sir.
Hmm?
During the day.
When?
Time. 12.
From 12 p.m. 12 p.m. until when?
About 7.
Till 7. That's good. Eli, when is your study time?
The
Hmm?
the morning four in the morning.
4 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So you have to work out when is it when you have the habit when every day this is when I study. Okay. And I made good use of my time. Let me tell you, sometimes let's say a teacher is not here when they're supposed to be. Use that time. Don't say everything on the other. No. Use the time. Use the time to prepare your sermon. Use the time to do an assignment. But use the time. All right. Let's go to diabetes.
Well, Brother Paul said you had something.
Yes. But maybe it's supposed to be.
So I'm not.
Good. Diabetes and hypertension. This, friends, is a major problem. Major problem. Diabetes and hypertension is what we call a lifestyle disease. Lifestyle. It's not contagious, like the flu, or diabetes, or dengue. I get it from someone. No. diabetes and hypertension is something that you put on yourself based on how you, on your lifestyle. So one of the things when we're here at school is making sure that our students are involved in an exercise program. And we're doing this not because we don't like it, but we're doing this because our exercise program is one of the, if followed over your lifetime, will be one of the counteractions to many of these diseases, including diabetes and hypertension. Yes, you have a question.
Now when John and go to gym, right?
Walk.
Yeah, John.
I went gym this morning.
Yeah.
So this article by Tomlin Paul, he talks about the growing number of persons 50 and over with diabetes and blood pressure. Because lots of people, when they reach 50, they stop exercising. They stop, looking after their bodies, right? And so it's just easy after that for diabetes to set in. So he said 50 and over, diagnosed with high blood pressure yearly. And what this article is about is the challenges that people face, the attitude that people have towards diabetes, right? And the attitude that causes doctors to have a problem here with these patients, because there are three basic attitudes that patients have that prevent them from overcoming diabetes and high blood pressure, or from getting it adequately treated. For most people, when they have diabetes and high blood pressure at first, they don't feel anything. They have no symptoms at all. Even though it is there in their bodies, right? And it's built up in the body, they don't feel anything. So challenge number one from the article is the challenge of those people, especially men, who say, I feel fine. I feel great. Don't feel anything at all. Yet the illness may be building up in their system. And they don't know it. And because men hardly ever do checkups, they just don't know it at all. They don't know what's going on. Some people say, doctor, everything is fine. I don't have any headaches. So they said, because they don't have headaches, no problem. There's a common belief that high blood pressure gives you headaches, and therefore if you don't have headaches, then you don't have high blood pressure. But what the writer points out is that no, you can have high blood pressure and don't have headaches. So the fact that you don't have headaches don't mean that you are high blood pressure free, right? There's really no way you can tell what your blood pressure reading is until you get the doctor to put that thing around your arm there and check your high blood pressure. And the last time I checked, I was 121/70. I said, what's that? I said, my wife didn't make you sure I take medication. So I didn't care because of that. Similarly, although there's a long list of diabetes symptoms, right? You shouldn't wait to feel the symptoms before you go and check for diabetes, because By the time you feel the symptoms, the horse gone through the gate. Right? So, in the initial stages of diabetes, you're not going to feel the symptoms. Right? So, chances are that by the time you find diabetes is in your body, it's been there for a number of years. And what diabetes does is to destroy organ after organ of the body. Undermines organ after organ of the body. Right? So the sooner you find out and you can place your diabetes under control, the better it will be for us. And preachers especially are susceptible to diabetes because we are up and down, we're so busy taking care of other people that they do not realize your health is your responsibility. Not your wife. It's your responsibility. We're good to have a wife who said, John, you teach about taking medicine, but you used to buy. Have a wife like that, she do. Make sure you do that, and if I do this, she's not on a case file. But guess what? It's still my responsibility. So, number one hurdle is that says, I feel fine. Number two, I've come across that innumerable times. People have the attitude that I don't have that, or they deny that they have it, or they may be told that they have it, you know, but they prefer to live in a fool's paradise.
Like last night, Brother Cole, I think to buy a chocolate further.
You did.
With his diabetes, and the doctor told him, yeah, nutrition problems. He's saying that he knows what he feels like to have. That's what you are. No, we did that. Kamara.
Who went with you?
Kamara.
Okay.
They said that they were agreed because they're asking us.
No, good.
That sugar is in.
Very good. And there are people like that. That's true. Men can reverse someone. People can reverse someone, man. Right? Right. So a person can be told your test shows that you have developed diabetes. The person looks short. And they say to the doctor, Doctor, I don't really feel like I have it. Really? Since I don't feel like I have it, I don't have it. Just getting the news and all the changes that come with it can be quite scary. Because one, you may have to start injecting yourself every day. And some men just can't take that needle break. Every day you have to put in insulin in your body. You like that? Keep football. If you don't want to have insulin every day, you go play football. Football is better than medicine. Exercise is better than medicine. Trust me. Right. Right. So they get scared. And there are some people who, even after the doctor tells them that they have diabetes, they keep on saying, I don't really have it. The doctor don't want to talk to me. In fact, our little friend, Tutor, that's why they argue. Doctors don't know what they're talking about. Right? They don't know what they're talking about. Well, I tell you, friends, doctors don't know everything. But whatever wisdom doctors have comes from God. Wisdom is knowledge. And knowledge, all knowledge, comes from God. So to go to the doctor doesn't mean that they don't believe in God. And I'm talking about which doctor. And I'm talking about the voodoo doctor. I'm talking about actual medical doctors, right? So some people deny that they have it, and as a result, they don't take proper action. So the writer says sometimes you cannot see that you're running away from the reality. And you start taking home remedy. You try everything else. Bush tea, seriously, and all sorts of home remedies instead of what the doctor says you're supposed to take. I remember this preacher who died, I mean, he's in his last few weeks and still asking for the bun and cheese. Still wanting to eat the very thing he's not supposed to eat. Well, these are some of the problems. So things like appropriate diet, exercise, weight management are all important for dealing with diabetes and hypertension. Number 3, the challenge of medication. So, what the writer points out, Mr. Paul, is that it's a challenge of people saying, I feel fine, so they don't go and check themselves out. It's a challenge of people denying after they have been diagnosed, denying that they have diabetes and high blood pressure. And then there's a third challenge of people not taking their medication or running out of medication and not getting it refilled. So somebody say, well, doctor, I'm calling to tell you that my mother is at the hospital. She has pressure and sugar. Her pressure and sugar are out of control. And the problem is that she keeps running out of medication. And even when she has the medication, she doesn't take them as prescribed. So she's supposed to take it every day, 3 tablets or 2 tablets. And she take it today, and then don't take it until Thursday. And she forgets to take it every day. Well, you get your medication, you've got to take it as prescribed.
Yeah.
So she has been taking it the same problem.
That's it, the dangerous, the brother that died, rolling, the same thing. Americans came and he left Monday, and his wife was saying, make sure you put the pills in the car. He didn't. He went to country, drive around, tour with the Americans. And by Thursday, he was in hospital.
Diabetes.
Yes, and he died.
He died. Because
his medication.
He was up and down with the Americans and then didn't take his medication that would control the insulin levels and all of that. And then your body just collapsed. And you're dead. Right? Question? Richard? What do you say?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Suppose you have been
Yes?
physical active all your life, right? But it's a diabetes for you.
Well, Tito has been studying. Tito, what's it called? The psychology of what? Health.
Yes.
Psychology of health. So, I'm going to ask Tito to answer the question. Alright? So, Tito, the fact that you have been exercising, is exercise the only factor that will affect whether or not you get diabetes?
No.
Explain to the community. This part of our psychology training we have. Alright, Tito, explain to the audience both here and elsewhere. What is another important factor that will affect whether or not you get a lifestyle disease? Right, what else?
Lifestyle diseases, most of them are actually not physically related, but stress related.
Talk about stress.
Stress, as Brother Kiddoe would say, is the AIDS, like the social AIDS. AIDS. You have to get physical contact, but rather stress now is the social AIDS. So what happens is mental strain can open up a lot of diseases.
I'm going to stop here. He said AIDS, right? AIDS is the acronym for acquired immune deficiency syndrome. Right that down. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. That's where we get. That's the acronym for AIDS. So you're saying, well, you're saying that Dr. was saying that stress is like social AIDS, because acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS, is a virus that attacks your immune system, breaks it down so that you get disease. Agree? Well, stress is like AIDS. Because it also breaks down the immune system so that you get all types of diseases. And there's a long, remember that yesterday, it's about 60 different diseases that stress causes, right? So you're here in Jamaica, and you worry about your family. Stop worrying. It will affect your health. Tell you. Stop worrying.
I remember when John Mark was at school, it was the same thing. John Mark used to be sick every morning because he was worried about and then his fiance. And every morning he was sick. And as soon as John Mark arrived, he was fine. Oh, seriously, he was sick.
Right? No. All right. So how does that tie up now with what we're saying about diabetes? The question was asked by Enrico was what, Enrico?
Be physically active all my life.
Yeah, yes. So I asked if you're physically active for let's say most part of your life, right? Because I know that I'm physically active celebrated. Right? Will you get diabetes? Will you have diabetes?
Right, and the answer is Dr. Tutor.
Yes, sir.
You can. If stress is a major factor in your life.
So your food too, sir.
Eh?
Your diet, your food. The type of food that you
Food is also a factor. But stress is a major. That's why Jesus Christ says you shouldn't worry. Right? And so for the preacher, especially, this is a very important instruction to take, because I've known people to get diabetes because they went through a period of great stress in their life. And then at the end of the period of the great stress, they were diagnosed with diabetes. And the only explanation was the stress. And it was a diabetes, wasn't the mind, it was major. Person eating a balanced diet.
I know they probably don't understand the whole mechanism that it wasn't serious.
Right. So you can eat a balanced diet and get that.
Yes.
Right? If stress is a major factor in your life.
need to put out the stress.
What's that?
Stay away from the stress.
God cares upon you for He cares for you. But I like this passage. A passage in Philippians chapter 4. verse 4. What it says in verse 4? Philippians 1 verse 4 says, rejoice in the Lord always. Again I say rejoice. What does verse 5 say? Let your moderation be known to all men. What else does it go on to say?
The Lord is coming soon.
The Lord is at hand.
Don't worry.
No, what it says?
Don't worry about anything.
Yes. Say, what does the text say? New King James. Come on.
It says, let your gentleness be known to all men.
That's right.
The Lord is be anxious for nothing.
He says, be anxious for nothing. But by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your request be known unto God. So rather than worry, he says, let your request pray to God. And he said, the peace of God that passes all understanding shall fill your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. And then, Paul will say, verse 8. Finally, brethren,
whatever things are true,
whatever things are true,
whatever things are noble,
whatever things are
whatever things are
noble,
just,
whatever things are just,
whatever things are pure,
whatever things are pure,
whatever things are lovely,
whatever things are lovely,
whatever things are good report,
whatever things are good report,
if there is any virtue,
if there is anything virtuous,
if there is anything praiseworthy,
or praiseworthy,
meditate on these things.
think on these things. And then he closes by saying,
The things which you
the
learn
things you have heard of me,
and receive
and
heard
receive,
saw me, these things do, and God,
these things do.
and the God of peace will be with you.
The God of peace will be. I like that formula. That's a formula for a healthy, mental, stress-free life.
Meditate on it.
Meditate. So my policy is that I have 68, and I feel great. But this is my policy, my friends. What is it? That's something to say to you, I can say to you. I'm not going to any breakdown fist fight with anybody. Pure. If I have a problem, I'm going to say, Brother Joel, I said, my wife, so and so and so, I ain't taking court. Well, why? Because I said, I'm ready for stress-free life. Right? That's number one. So we'll get on with the Lord's business. Hey, go ahead. Sure.
I just said so we need some time to make a version for chapter because it's 8.
Good. All right. So that's my policy. And I encourage you to share it. And please, fathers. Got the chats out for you. Sorry, God.